Well, good afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Mortgage Solutions Financial Show with your host, Rob Stern. I'm Tanya Hall, and we want to wish you a Merry Christmas in advance. And we know that you're getting out, running around in this cold weather. This is a perfect show for you to listen to, maybe think about what you can buy yourself for Christmas, or a Happy New Year gift would be the biggest wealth building item you can purchase is a home. And here to just get us up to date on everything we need to know about home ownership, about how to properly get into a home, all the advantages for VA, for veteran loans, and so forth, is none other than Mr. Rob Stern, here every Friday from 1 o'clock until 1:30 p.m. Everyone, let's bring to the table Mr. Rob Stern. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Tanya, how are you? It's so good to be here today.
It is great to be here. You staying warm?
Um, it's not easy, but yeah, we're staying warm. I had to go outside for a little bit today, and yeah, it's unbearable out there. I think it's because we're just not used to this weather. Honestly, you know, uh, I found out a long time ago, and I don't know where I heard this little tidbit, but apparently, when you live in warm weather long enough, your blood gets very thin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then that's what controls your body temperature and the warmth of your body.
Yeah. And so,
So
we live in the summer. What is it? One can get all the way up to 110 here.
sure. So I just don't think we're just not ready. We're not built for this. Is the issue? But it's good. I mean, we needed it because it kills off
Yeah.
it's killing off a lot of the insects and
Mhm.
and this is the reason why our lawns are going to be beautiful in the spring.
Absolutely.
Um, it's unbearable to an extent, but I think we can get it up. We're going to be in the mid 60s by next week.
That's Texas for you. And that
Texas
is
weather.
Texas for you. Well, I wanted you to start off with telling those that may not know you, Rob, what you do, who you are, and what you bring to this Metroplex, which is an amazing expertise. So introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you very much, Tanya. My name is Rob Stern. The name of my group is Lenders Residential Mortgage Team. I'm with Mortgage Solutions. I've done this now for the past 32 years, and we are direct mortgage lenders and bankers. What that means, in a nutshell, is that we basically make up the rules. We close mortgage loans using guidelines that we have developed in house. We underwrite all of our own loans. We process our own loans. We use our own secondary, our own pricing, our own warehousing. Everything we do is internal, our own processing, et cetera. So that gives us a lot of flexibility as it relates to the most common types of mortgage loans, which would be the FHA mortgage loan and, of course, the veterans loan, the VA mortgage loan. That's where we probably have our most diverse opportunity. On an FHA loan, I go all the way down to a 500 credit score, consistent with FHA and HUD guidelines. They will allow us to underwrite to those low credit scores and still guarantee the mortgage loan. So I'll close a mortgage loan literally with a 500 credit score. But with VA, it gets even better. With VA, the Veterans Administration allows us to close a mortgage loan for a veteran regardless of the credit score. I have no minimum credit score criteria on a VA mortgage loan. I know that sounds very difficult to believe, but the Veterans Administration has no minimum credit score criteria established. When you hear other lenders, other brokers out there talking about a 620 credit score or what have you, those scores are literally fictitious, made up credit scores designed to help them protect their own portfolio as opposed to truly helping the veteran get into a home. So the reality is VA mortgage loans, no minimum credit score. In addition to that, on a VA mortgage loan, I can go all the way up to a 65% debt to income ratio, which is quite literally 30% higher than any other mortgage loan.
Mhm.
So yeah, veterans have all the advantage when it comes to buying a home, and that's okay. Veterans, as we've been saying now for all of our time together, Tanya, as I've believed for my entire career, veterans deserve every benefit they get and more. These individuals have done so much for our safety, our security, protecting our interests, our country. We cannot give them enough.
Absolutely. And I second that emotion. Is that definitely veterans? I don't know, like you said, first responders, folks like that work to save lives and to take care of us here in this country and would go abroad like those in the military service do. They are deserving of whatever benefit, we can give them in the United States. They are definitely deserving of it. Now, let's talk a little bit more about that VA loan. Let's talk about the benefits of that. I heard you say once that veterans have a great advantage. If they've bought one house, that doesn't mean that they can't get another loan under the same VA policy. Is that correct?
That's right. You listen well. No, that's absolutely correct. A veteran's mortgage loan is a no money down mortgage loan, meaning there's never a down payment on a VA loan. Doesn't matter what the credit score is, there's never going to be a down payment associated with a VA mortgage loan. However, what really makes the VA loan different is that benefit is evergreen, meaning it refreshes itself over and over and over again. Every time the veteran sells their home and releases that current VA loan, they're eligible to go do it all over again. And they can do this as many times as they choose throughout their home buying experience. So literally, the VA mortgage loan has so many very interesting facets and opportunities for a veteran to purchase a home. I think that there's absolutely no reason for a veteran, if in fact you're a veteran or a widow or a widower of a veteran, there's no good reason for anybody that's eligible for those benefits to not utilize those benefits. They've earned them, they've sacrificed for them, and becoming a homeowner using your VA benefits is what you are entitled to do. There's no good reason not to reach out and take advantage of that opportunity.
Is it possible? We want to make sure they can't age out of it. So if you have an 80-year-old service woman that served this country and just, never got around to buying a home or whatever, and she's like, well, I'm 80 now, I probably don't have all the benefits I probably would have had. Do they age out of benefits?
No, you cannot age out of your veterans benefits at all. So as a matter of fact, I had an individual the other day, and I think we may have talked about this before, who wanted to use their VA benefits to purchase a home so that their children would have a home and their grandchildren would have a home when they passed on. This was an older veteran who was just thinking ahead in the aging process. So no, there's no way to age out of a VA mortgage loan. And more importantly, that mortgage loan, once you take that loan out, it's your loan. Nobody's going to take it away from you. You have earned it. You deserve it. And we do a tremendous amount with VA. Now, in addition to that, as a veteran, not only are you allowed to purchase a home using that VA mortgage loan, but veterans also are entitled to very special benefits when it comes to refinancing that home. And that's a big topic right now, given where interest rates are. As a veteran, you can refinance that mortgage loan at any time after you've been in the house for at least 9 months or 270 days. You can refinance that house without an appraisal and without income documentation, regardless of your credit score, to a lower interest rate, as long as there's a lower interest rate available. Very simple, easy. It's basically a VA streamlined process. And we are expecting rates to begin going down probably within the next year and a half or 2 years. We should start seeing some significant relief to interest rates. Right now, they're vacillating. We're seeing rates in the mid sixes, perhaps the high sixes, depending on credit. But we're going to see those rates start to relax as time progresses. This is these interest rates are a direct result of what the economy is dictating right now. The Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, trying to stop what they see as a recession, and as such, we are all unfortunately left responsible for the fallout from it.
Yeah.
Pardon me, but these rates will not stay there forever. They will come down, no doubt.
Yeah, I want to give the phone number out to those of you that are listening. You may want to call in to ask Rob Stern some questions. Any questions you have for Rob, he is here to answer them. This is an expert that's been in this business over 30 years. If you have any question, I have every confidence in him that he'll know the answer. And if he doesn't, he knows who does know the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
So we invite you to call in. We invite you to call into the studio. It's open for you, 972-988-1040. Again, that's 972-988-1040. Rob, let's talk about those of us that are non-service people, just everyday working folks that would like to perhaps get in a house. Now, I know there is never a wrong time to buy a house. There's never a wrong time to buy a house. But let me ask this question. In your speaking, I want you to speak experientially as to when do you think this may be the better time of year to really get the best value or find the best home is in summer, spring, winter, fall. Is there any season that you would, if you just had to say it, that would be best for people to start kind of looking for a house if that's where you're trying to go?
Right now, winter. When it's cold outside, through the holidays, when nobody else is out looking for homes, and prices are beginning to soften up. So, I think, we should probably maybe take a couple of steps backwards and talk about how to gain equity in a home purchase, because I think that actually sort of dovetails into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You make your equity, you make your profit on a home from the purchase. It has nothing to do with the interest rate. It has everything to do with the purchase. Right now, we're seeing prices decline. They're not going to continue to decline, but we're seeing prices decline in a lot of areas. And so this is the perfect time to be out there looking for a home if you choose to purchase a home. Not only is winter normally the slower period for home buying, but more importantly, with the decline in prices that we're seeing right now because of what's happening in our economy, you're going to get that profit that you won't normally get in a seller's market. This has turned into a buyer's market. There's a lot of opportunity. You're going to spend less on your closing costs right now because sellers are willing to pay them. You're going to spend less on your house because sellers are willing to drop their prices to accommodate you. So quite literally, winter is the best time to become a homeowner. Actually, between perhaps October and February is the best time to be out looking for a new home. And again, with everything else that's transpiring, I think there's just a lot of opportunity here. Just like we didn't expect prices to go up the way they went up.
Yeah.
We didn't expect prices to come down the way they're coming down.
Yeah. It's great to hear. It's great to hear that it is a buyer's market again, because last year I jumped in when it was a seller's market, because like you said, every time is the best time to buy a house. And so I was like, listen, I've never ran away from, pressure or adversity or anything that was stacked against me. I just pushed forward and let's see where the chips fall. And so I jumped into the lava of a seller's market back then. And wow, I came out, unscathed, pure as gold, got a house. So that's why I say it's never a bad time.
No, and I think the reality is the reality to everything that we're discussing is exactly what you just shared. You can never lose becoming a homeowner because when you choose to become a homeowner, you are playing a long game, I guess, as opposed to a short game. You're buying something that you're financing over 30 years, and in 30 years, the fact that you bought the house in a seller's market will make very little difference over the equity growth.
Right.
There's really the flip side to everything that we go through is these apartment rents and how crazy rents have gotten. I talk to people every day, $1,800 a month, $2,400, $2,300 for rent.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Apartments are driving a lot of this home purchase market right now because people want to get out of these high priced apartments into their own home.
Yeah, let me go to the phone line because we do have a caller. Let's welcome them into Mortgage Solutions Financial with Rob Stern. Hi, caller, you're on with Rob Stern. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Betty, and I'm calling from Dallas. I just had a question about the veterans' benefits.
Yes, ma'am.
Do they extend to the widow of the veteran?
Yes, Betty. Those benefits should extend to you as the widow of the veteran. And let me also say I'm sorry for your loss, and I appreciate all the sacrifices that you all made for us. But yes, you should be entitled to his benefits. If you have not communicated with the Veterans Administration already, that would probably be the place to start. If you would like to give me a call at your convenience, I will be working through most of the holiday. Not on Christmas Day, clearly, but I'll be working. I'll be available certainly tomorrow. If you'd like to give me a call, I can go ahead and do a little bit of research for you as well as to whether those benefits have already been transferred into your name. But if you were married to a veteran and that veteran passed on, his benefits should be available to you without problem if he had an entitlement. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No, Miss Betty, thank you, and God bless you. Merry Christmas. Let me give you a telephone number as well to call. That number is going to be 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. And you can also reach me on the internet if you'd like. Just go to Lenders Texas, LendersTexas.com.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Miss Betty. You take care and have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
And the phone lines are open again for you to give us a call, 972-988-1040. You're listening to Rob Stern of Mortgage Solutions Financial, here to answer any questions you may have. As Rob and I just said, it's never not a good time to buy a home.
That's two negatives.
Yeah, that's two negatives back to back, double negatives. Never not a good time to buy a home. And I believe we understand each other's language.
Yes, ma'am.
So please, if you have any questions, there's never a dumb question. The dumb question is the question that's never asked. So make sure you call us at 972-988-1040. Rob Stern is here to answer any of your questions. Rob, let's go back over to those of us that, like I said, are just everyday, folks that didn't serve the country and working class America that are looking to get our piece of the American pie. And let's talk about what the top 3 get yourself prepared steps are for someone that's saying the new year is here. I'm going to contemplate buying me a house. I'm going to get in the process of getting on the road to purchasing me a new house. What's the top 3 steps that they need to take to get prepared to do that?
Sure. No. And that's actually somewhat straightforward. A mortgage loan is driven literally by 3 very specific things: your income, your credit, and your debt. So clearly, if you want to become a homeowner, the first thing to do would be to reach out to somebody and have them look at your credit for you. When I say have somebody else do this, you should look to a mortgage lender, a professional. Give me a call. I'll do this for you for free. But let's look at your credit to see what your credit tells us, because that's where you need to start.
Yeah.
That would be number 1. Number 2, gather your income documentation together. Paycheck stubs, W-2s, offer letters. If you're a veteran, we'll need awards letters if you're receiving any service-connected disability, and that will allow us to go ahead and put together a financial profile as to exactly what's going on with your mortgage loan. Number 3, figure out what you want to spend on a house. When I say that, figure out a payment that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Once you know what you can afford, then the next question is what you want to spend.
How do they determine what they can afford?
Yes, ma'am. What you can afford is driven by your debt to income ratio. And that's what we'll develop. Once we create that debt to income ratio and we know what you can afford to spend, then literally it's going to be up to you to choose what you want to spend. And the reason that's important is because I've dealt with a lot of people who could perhaps spend $4,000 a month on a mortgage. They have good employment, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean they want to spend $4,000 a month on a mortgage. So this also helps us when it comes to getting you in touch with a realtor as far as looking for a home. Realtors, probably the first question that every realtor is going to ask is, how much are you qualified for?
Mm-hmm.
How much you're qualified for really has very little to do with it. It's how much do you want to spend. Just because you can be qualified to spend that or $4,000 or whatever it is,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that you have to spend that much money. And unfortunately, realtors are driven literally by how much you qualify for. I think a lot of people forget that although realtors are a very valuable asset when it comes to finding a home, realtors are quite literally something that you need to control, and you need to tell them what you want. If you tell a realtor you can spend $600,000 on a house, I guarantee you they're going to show you $600,000 houses.
Yes.
If you tell a realtor all you want to spend is $350,000 on a house, even though you can afford a $600,000 house, they're going to curtail what they show you to $350,000. So again, it's up to the consumer to control the transaction.
Yeah.
As a banker, as a mortgage lender, I'm literally an advocate for the consumer. As a realtor, the realtor is literally an advocate for the consumer, for the home buyer. The home buyer has to have a pretty good idea of what they want to do in order to move forward, and not spend a lot of time looking at homes that they either cannot afford, or they're in areas where they just don't want to live. A lot of people that I speak with, I find want to be close to their church or their synagogue or their mosque, what have you. People want to be moving perhaps for school districts. They want to make sure that they're getting their children into the proper school district, or in many cases that they're staying in the school district where they are currently. So just sit down and literally develop an action plan on your own as to where you want to be, what you want to do, and that's going to help you quite a bit when it comes to literally searching for a home. As a direct mortgage lender, I've developed incredible relationships with realtors all across the state of Texas. If it's a matter of getting you in touch with the right realtor, I can certainly help there. But the place to start before you do anything is with a lender. Yeah. That's the first thing to do. Get to a lender and build your financial file so you know what you're doing. Literally, give me a call. I'm available anytime. My telephone number is 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. And give me a call. There's no cost to it whatsoever. I can walk you through the process. And I love seeing new homeowners. I love seeing that big smile.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you this much too. I love what you said about, going ahead and pulling your financial records. Really get yourself focused in your mind as to if things aren't right with you on the credit side, then start working on that. That's a part of the process to going to a house. Start working on that. And so I love that you're saying you got to be realistic. The credit is what it is, but you can make it what it needs to be, but you got to address it. And I think a lot of people get scared around the time. No, I don't want to even look at my credit. It's a mess. And, they kind of backpedal, but you should just go straight forward to it because it can be repaired. It may take you a little time before you can get into a home. Sure. but you're on the process or in the process and on the lane that leads to home ownership. And I love what you said about, just pulling up your financial records, pulling out how much you make, looking at how much you're willing to spend. And like you said, the transaction, the last say of how much that person is going to spend should be what the homeowner decides they can spend. So, you just got to take control. Well, Rob, we have about, 2.5, 3 minutes left. I want you to speak to everybody about the advantages of owning a home versus renting. Give them your contact information and let's close out.
No, thank you. Thank you, Tanya. Well, first off, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. And I think that probably will typify one of the biggest reasons to become a homeowner, because you can celebrate the holidays in your own home.
Yes.
You can have your family over to your own home. Instead of having to go over to mom's house or to your brother's house, you can say to everybody, hey, come to my house this year. I'm going to be the host. And I can't even begin to tell you what a rewarding feeling that is when you can host your family and your friends into your own home with your own fireplace and your own Christmas tree, or when you can make your house available, your home available to your whole family, that is a huge milestone in life, and that's something that everybody should get to experience. I had a pastor, actually, I recently closed, and he told me he was most excited because he was going to be able to have his grandbabies come over to his house and celebrate Christmas. Huge benefit opportunity. But the joys of home ownership. Clearly, there are a lot of taxable benefits to home ownership that are just innumerable. If you get money back now, you can expect to receive an additional $5,000 or $6,000 perhaps back on your taxes at the end of the year. In addition to that, you are in control of your own environment and in control of your payments. As long as you own a home, your principal and your interest will not ever go up. In other words, you'll always make the same principal and interest payment as long as you're in a fixed rate loan until you choose to refinance that loan or sell that home. You have absolute control over things financially. When you rent, whether it's a house or an apartment or a duplex, what have you, just like we're experiencing now, we're going to see those rental rates go up and up and up and up every renewal. It just goes on and on. So with that being said, again, I want everybody who is within earshot of this broadcast, everyone who's watching us, just to know how much I appreciate the opportunity to talk with everybody at KGGR, and I appreciate everything. Have a Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, everyone. Join us next Friday, 1 o'clock until 1:30 for Rob Stern's Mortgage Solutions Financial. Merry Christmas, Rob.
Merry Christmas, and God bless you. Take care, Tanya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
KGGR invites you to tune in at 1 p.m. on Fridays for our weekly interview with Rob Stern of Mortgage Solutions Financial.